Hey there, friends. It's Pharmacist Michael. Have you ever felt stuck in a foggy mood, low energy, or even a creeping sense of sadness that just won't go away? You might chalk it up to stress, poor sleep, or life just not being a lot. But what if I told you that part of that mood could actually be coming from something microscopic? Something happening inside your cells, or not happening? Today, we're diving into TMG, trimethylglycine, and how it's connected to methylation, brain chemistry, and yes, your mood. Let's explore how this simple nutrient might be playing a much bigger role in your mental health than you think. First things first, what is TMG? Well, I've talked about TMG in several videos previous to this one, and it stands for trimethylglycine. It's a naturally occurring compound found in foods like beets, spinach, quinoa, and shrimp. It's also made by your body and is involved in a biochemical process called methylation. Sounds technical, right? Don't worry, I'll break it down. Methylation is a process where your body adds something called a methyl group, one carbon and three hydrogens, to other molecules. It's kind of like a spark plug for chemical reactions in your body. Methylation helps with detoxification, DNA repair, hormone balance, and here's the key, neurotransmitter production. We're talking serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, the exact brain chemicals that regulate your mood, motivation, and mental clarity. So when methylation isn't working right, that's where problems start. Let's talk about the real connection between methylation and depression, because it's bigger than most people realize. So here's what's going on under the hood. Your body uses a process called methylation to activate or deactivate certain molecules, including the ones involved in mood regulation. One of the most important products of methylation is something called SAMe, short for S-adenosilmethionine. It's a natural compound that plays a direct role in producing serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, those key feel-good neurotransmitters that keep your mood balanced, help you feel motivated, and support emotional resilience. But here's the problem. If you don't methylate efficiently because of genetics, nutrient deficiencies, chronic stress, or inflammation, you may not make enough SAMe. And when SAMe levels are low, neurotransmitter production stalls, and symptoms of depression and anxiety can creep in. This issue is especially common in people with a genetic variant called MTHFR. Yes, that's a real gene. The MTHFR gene controls an enzyme that helps your body convert folate into its active form, something your brain needs for methylation. About 40% of people have a mutation that slows this process down, making it harder to keep up with the body's methylation demands. And that's where TMG steps in. TMG serves as a methyl donor. That means it hands off those critical methyl groups your body needs to keep things running smoothly, especially in your brain. By supporting this process, TMG can help boost SAMe production, enhance neurotransmitter synthesis, and reduce the buildup of homocysteine, which is a byproduct that can be neurotoxic in high amounts and is often elevated in people with depression. It's kind of like unclogging a jammed assembly line. Everything starts flowing again. Neurotransmitters get made. Inflammation cools down. And your mood starts to stabilize naturally. Now, I'm not saying TMG is a miracle cure for depression, but for some people, especially those dealing with low mood, mental fatigue, or methylation related issues, it can be a powerful piece of the puzzle. And what's really interesting is that unlike prescription antidepressants, TMG doesn't override your brain chemistry. It supports your body's own ability to restore balance from within. So, in a nutshell, TMG helps fix what's broken behind the scenes, giving your brain the building blocks it needs to function at its best, emotionally, mentally, and even cognitively. Now, you know I love real data, not hype. Several studies have looked at TMG's role in mood regulation. While most research has focused on TMG lowering homocysteine, a marker of methylation health, there's indirect evidence that this also supports mental well being. In fact, lowering homocysteine has been linked to better cognitive function, less brain fog, and reduced depressive symptoms. Some functional medicine practitioners even stack TMG with SAMe, folate, and B12 to support methylation pathways in patients with depression or anxiety. And the cool part? TMG is well tolerated and non-stimulating, which is great for people who don't do well with traditional antidepressants or activating supplements. TMG might be especially helpful for people with elevated homocysteine levels, those with MTHFR mutations, individuals experiencing low mood, poor concentration, or brain fog, and anyone who uses a lot of methyl groups due to chronic stress, poor diet, or toxin exposure. Of course, talk to your healthcare provider first, especially if you're on medications like antidepressants or have bipolar disorder, where boosting methylation might be a little tricky. TMG usually comes in powder or capsule form. Doses range from 500 milligrams to 3,000 milligrams per day, depending on your individual needs and response. A good starting dose is 500 to 750 milligrams once or twice a day, ideally with food. Also, make sure you're getting enough B vitamins, especially B6, B12, and folate, because they work synergistically in the methylation cycle. Look, mood is complicated. There's no magic pill. But there are powerful tools you can use to support your brain chemistry naturally. TMG is one of those underrated players that might just help tip the scale in your favor, especially if your methylation needs some support. It's not just about feeling better. It's about giving your body the biochemical resources it needs to function at its best, from your brain to your heart and beyond. And if you've tried TMG or you're thinking about it, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your experience. And be sure to check out my video on TMG stacking by clicking the thumbnail above or clicking on the pinned link in the comments section of this video. Until next time, be happy and be healthy. I'll see you in the next video.